Yes, indeed. We're talking about everything from a concerning report about today's teens to a new plan to help businesses operate safely when crime is rising.
All right, let's do it. Let's kick it off with the big story of the day. Unidentified flying objects being shot out of the sky. That's right. The U.S. shooting down 3 of these UFOs over North America this weekend. The fighter jets taking out yet another one. Obviously, it all comes a week after that Chinese spy balloon was shot down off of the waters of South Carolina. And as you can imagine, everyone on high alert. Let's turn now to the DMV Zone big board, or Katie Barlow on Capitol Hill working this story tonight. Katie, what are you hearing? What's the latest?
Well, good evening, Marina and Joe. First of all, Joe, I wish my birthday present to you could be more answers to our questions about these objects that are getting shot down out of the sky. Unfortunately, there are a lot of things we still do not know. We do not know exactly what these objects were. The most recent ones, one shot down Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We don't know their surveillance capabilities. And in fact, we haven't recovered at least the one that was shot down over Alaska, northern Alaska, on Friday. But here's what we do know. If you can, take a look at this map that Fox 5 put together that shows you all 4 objects that have been shot down in the last 10 days, going back to February 4th, where the Chinese spy balloon was shot down off the coast of South Carolina. Last Friday, there was an object shot down off of northern Alaska. On Saturday, there was an object shot down in Canada. And on Sunday, a third object in 3 days shot down over Lake Huron in northern Michigan. Now, what we understand from officials who gave a press briefing yesterday, they said that they have tweaked their radar since the Chinese spy balloon was shot down on February 4th. And so that may be why we are seeing more objects, and that these objects are not identifying themselves or comporting with the rules that objects in our airspace are supposed to be following, and so they are getting shot down. But again, there are more questions than answers. We still don't know whether they have surveillance capabilities, and we haven't recovered the physical objects that have been shot down in a number of places.
All right, Katie Barlow with the latest of what we know so far about these. There are so many questions, so let's bring in an expert now that hopefully can answer some of them. Bishop Garrison with the National Security Institute at George Mason University, live with us today. Good to see you, Bishop. You know, you don't want to be too skeptical about this, but it almost feels natural to be extremely skeptical about what we're being told by our own government about what these things are. We haven't even recovered them. What's your sense about, are these games? What's going on?
Well, thank you for having me first and foremost, and happy birthday, Joe. It's a pleasure to be here with you folks today. The biggest thing is, first and foremost, that at the forefront of the president's mind is the safety and security of this nation and its people. So it's going to take some time for the government, for a national security apparatus to understand what exactly is taking place, what these objects are, what we're seeing, and they're going to have to collect some data. They've already announced that John Kirby today at the podium announced that there's going to be an interagency team that's going to be responsible for reviewing the data as it comes in and giving the president a better assessment of what these objects are and exactly what their origin is and what's going on. But the biggest thing for me is when you hear hooves, don't think zebras, you think horses. So I know Americans have been through a lot over the past 3 years. It's been very tumultuous, very stressful in terms of pandemic conditions, as well as something like this now of unknown origin, these types of objects. But we need to just take a pause and let the government collect more data and get a quality assessment of the situation.
So from what I understand is that they've tweaked the radar because of the spy balloon that was the first one. But since they tweaked the radar, can I ascertain that this has possibly been going on for a long time without the radar even knowing what was happening? We know from a recent report released by ODNI, by the Office of National Intelligence Director, that there have been since 2021, approximately, I think it said 250 different reports of these type of phenomena that are taking place throughout the country. So it's not unusual for us to come across some of these different types of things. Usually very well-trained pilots see them and recognize them during training missions or what have you. And it's just these types of things we haven't necessarily seen before. In terms of the radar, what you're really getting is that these objects are flying at a lower altitude and higher speeds, and radars typically are not set for those conditions. So yes, we've heard that the military is tweaking its radar, and the more you do that, the more you're going to see these types of object and phenomena out there.
All right, Bishop Garrison with the National Security Institute. One thing's for sure, those F-22s are getting a lot of practice these days.
They need
shooting objects out of the sky.
They shoot our stuff down if we were over that country.
Joe, you've been talking to people, obviously, downstairs. Everyone's got an opinion, and some would say there's mass hysteria about what's going on. Others saying we need to be involved and understand what's flying over us. What'd you hear?
Well, the people here, and I'm here in downtown Bethesda, they didn't have as much emotion about it as you and I do. Here's what they had to say. Y'all check this out.
Me personally, I think they've always been here. We're just now hearing about them. What do you think?
Yeah, no, they've definitely, I think they're around. We're just they're catching them now.
Yeah, they're catching them now. And do we think that they're otherworldly? Or is it just other countries of like, you know what, we can just send a balloon. We don't even need a satellite.
No, I mean, yeah, no, there's something out there, but I think our military is going to take care of them.
One popped up yesterday. We're just getting people's thoughts on them.
Oh. I mean, I don't think they're UFOs.
Okay.
I think that they're most likely intelligence objects from China.
Do you think we should be worried, or is it just par for the course for being America because we're number one?
I'm slightly worried, to be perfectly candid. Just the uptick in them, and maybe this is something that's been going on for a long time and we just didn't know about it, and the recent balloon has made it, more prominent in the headlines.
I think they've been around forever, and we're just now finding out.
Yeah, that very well could be the case. It has just become front and center.
It's trying to play a game.
It's trying to play a game.
Should we be worried?
No, I think our federal government will be perfectly great at taking care of it. With all the sarcasm in the world.
We're talking about these UFOs that America keeps finding nowadays and just getting people's thoughts. I think they've been here forever. What do you think?
Probably.
So the one lady said, I trust that our government is going to do everything to give us the best answer they possibly can. But then she said, I mean that as sarcastically as I possibly can.
Okay, well, if you're trusting the government, good luck with that. Who knows what the truth is? Half
Who
true,
knows?
half not. But anyways, listen, let's check out the info, because we're still asking you, are you concerned about these things, these unidentified flying objects? Like, what's going on? They're being shot down by the military. We just put this up, so we're going to check back the scores, obviously, of how you feel about this. But as you saw in Joe's piece, people pretty divided. Scan that QR code, fox5dc.com/instapoll.
How you feel about them?
I have no opinion on all of this. All right.